What's up, Capstone fam? So this is the 12th of April, 2024, Friday. This was a busy week in real estate here in the Phoenix area, and I wanted to dig into that for just a quick second, as the sales market seems to be picking up and is really hot. The numbers don't necessarily tell what's happening behind the scenes from a sales side on our part, as everything that goes on the market gets sold, right? If you price it right, it's going to sell right now. There's a pretty high probability, and at just about every price point, which is cool. I mean, again, we're not dabbling in the super luxury stuff. We're not dabbling in the $10 million properties, but there's a lot of people buying in that even $1 million to $2 million space that are just literally chomping at the bit to pick up property right now. You'll find all throughout the Central Corridor and Paradise Valley, and I mean land in certain areas you can find half acres. People are paying up to $1 million, $1.2 million just for the lots, so they can scrape the properties and build monster properties. So that's what's happening all over the certain parts of the valley. In other parts, pricing is still super strong, and there are still plenty of buyers out there looking to make something happen. Even though interest rates are still high, buyers are paying attention to that, and lenders are smart, and they'll say, hey, come back and refinance with us in 2 or 4 years at no cost, and get in there and get the property before it gets away from you. Because if rates do come down, which I guess they're expected to, then the inventory that we have will all but look completely different than it does right now. So there's that. Why are things so hot here in the Phoenix area right now? What's really driving all of this? And this is a question that, as an investor, we should know. Like, I feel like I need to know what's happening in this market, what's going on behind the scenes, what's driving all of this traffic. That's why I look at Business Journal regularly, right? Like, I love the Business Journal. One thing that it brought up this week that I thought was super helpful was it talks about the Arizona Commerce Authority. They brought this piece that's kind of I don't want to say a propaganda piece, but it kind of is. But it talks about what is driving this, and of course we all know about Taiwan Semiconductor, and it's almost like every week there's a new article that talks about what's happening and how that's going to change the landscape here. This week, more companies were let Arizona know, or they're making it public that they're going to be bringing headquarters here, whether it be their United States headquarters or whatever it might be. I mean, it's happening almost weekly at this point, and there's going to be such a huge influx of people from that, and not just people, but whereas the workforce in Arizona, in Phoenix, was always really segregated, is how I look at it, because you had two different parts of the valley. You had the higher tech side of the valley, which was like the East Valley, and then you had more of the industrial side, which was the West side, and it's been split like that. I was a recruiter back in the day. I was a recruiter for contract engineers. We placed people in the East Valley at Amcor and Intel, and we Orbital Sciences and all of these companies that were in the East Valley. People that worked in the East Valley lived in the East Valley. But as that's changing, the whole landscape of the valley is changing, right? So now you've got Taiwan Semiconductor, which is up in the northwest part of the valley, which is now feeding the rest of the valley on the west side. And a lot of those players that are looking for property, some of these companies that are looking to bring their headquarters out here, they're looking at areas on the west side, which is new, which is unique. So that's what's really made the valley so much more diverse. And from that split segregation, there were a few key pieces, most importantly jobs, but you also had like the 202 loop that was put in that went around South Phoenix. Like these are all things that have made it easier for people to access one part of the valley over another. So it's great. Like Phoenix is definitely looking like a hot spot to continue to invest for a long time. And now, I mean, I'll do my best to keep this information to you because I think it's super important, because again, there's just so much going on behind the scenes. But let me give you a couple quick stats. We're talking about favorable business environments. The rankings show that Arizona's #1 for that. Shows that for fastest growing county, Maricopa County is that. Highly skilled and fluent in innovation, we are the county for attracting and retaining top talent, #1 in the country. I mean, all of these stats are just like, wow, like it's pretty hot. The big one here, #1 state for semiconductor investments, more than $64 billion invested since 2020. So, you know, think about now what's happening with the new administration or the administration in funding the semiconductor industry and the manufacturing moving forward. I mean, that's all here, right? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about Arizona. When they talk about it on the news, they talk about it on the radio. It's like when they're talking about it on a national level, they're talking about Arizona, which is a good place to be looking to invest. If you have questions about your property, or you're looking to divest, invest, anything like that, and figuring out, you know, what's a good play for you, let us know. Love to get your feedback. Management team is rocking. We're ramping up right now. Now we have 3 full-time property managers, and then the rest of us are kind of the ancillary support staff for those 3, right? Know your property manager. As we grow this thing, you're going to get to know your property manager better. It's one of our initiatives. And yeah, thanks for watching.